Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new year of Heroes of Handheld, the podcast that is dedicated to everything handheld gaming. We cover your PSP, your PlayStation Vita, your Sony Ericsson phone, your Android phone, your BlackBerry, your iPhone, maybe even Nintendo products as well. We're feeling up to it, but we like to cover handheld gaming here. We use our hands and we game. That's the whole point of handheld gaming. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts. My name is Colin. Oh god, he's already interrupting me. It's my boy. It's my mate
Oh
man.
no!
It's the host with the most. It's Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hello, Colin.
Adjusting his microphone.
Oh, sounds great. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah,
it's Chris with a brand new microphone. Not really.
Hey, Chris. I don't know what you're acting as if we've not spoken in so long, because we spoke on New Year's Eve. Remember? That was really
No,
fun.
I was surprised you had the time because I know that you were busy taking your girlfriend up the Shard or whatever. You is that a euphemism?
I think it is somewhere. I hear you're taking your other half up the Highlands, and that joke actually works because it's relevant. But
it's also racist. So,
not
swings
really.
and roundabouts, my boy. Did you have a good Christmas period?
I did. It was very nice and relaxed. I actually had a very nice Christmas time. It's not that I don't usually have a nice Christmas time, but this year I don't know why. Like, the thing with me, I always have a list of things I want to do at Christmas time because I'm a big fan of Christmas. Like, there's films I want to watch, there's cookies I want to make, there's songs I want to hear, and I managed to achieve all of it.
I think you're maybe the most festive person I know. Like,
I am a festive bastard.
I think you're because you quite like sort of dressing up and celebrating and all that stuff, and then chucking some Christmas cheer, and you're on a run.
I do. Do you know what I did this year, which I've never done before?
You cried, jingled away.
I do that every year, but what I did this year that was different. I wore what did I do? Oh, I read A Christmas Carol. That was fun. But one thing I'd like to do.
You wrote a Christmas Carol.
I didn't write A Christmas Carol. I read A Christmas Carol by your boy Charles Dickens and my boy.
Right, I'm with you now.
The book. You know, there's a famous book. You may have heard of it.
I thought you meant like you read Little Donkey or something, and I was like, oh, good one.
It's Dominic the donkey. Anyway, that's a
weird reference to make.
That's a reference to a.
No, I don't think anyone listening is going to get that.
I don't know if they will either. I don't know if anyone out there got that reference and where it's from. Please email us heroesofhandheld@gmail.com.
The one that I always say that people don't get from that very same radio show is when it's there's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door.
How about Chris? Colin.
Okay, so we had good Christmas and New Year's. Did you do a lot of gaming over the festive period?
I did, because Christopher, we spoke about this last year, about us getting next-gen consoles. We'll get onto that in a moment, but I've been playing a lot of this little device here, which I'm showing to my camera.
It's your Vita.
Do you remember this? It's a handheld gaming device. You may have heard of it. I've actually been playing this a lot. I've been getting back into Killzone Mercenary. I think I spoke about this before our Christmas break. But I've continued to play the campaign of Killzone Mercenary. Now, when I initially played Killzone, it was amazing. It was a really good game. Fantastic graphics for the Vita. Amazing multiplayer online, competitive multiplayer. The campaign I thought was good. It was, just your standard first-person shooter. The straight line first-person shooter game like Call of Duty. Like, not much. I thought there was not much way of going off the path and playing the game in your own way. Like, it was a set path. But this was told to us, it must be over a year ago, by an old fan of the show. I don't know if he still listens. I can't actually remember his name. But he was a big fan of ours. He was our number one fan for a long time. He had the T-shirt, he had the mug, he had everything. But he informed us that when I told him, Killzone Mercenary is okay, but it's a very standard first-person shooter campaign, he was like, no, it's not. You can tackle levels in so many different ways. So I went back And he is right. There's so many different pathways you can take on Killzone Mercenary in each level. You can go the stealthy route. You can go in all guns blazing. There's loads of different routes. There's hidden staircases. There's ladders to go up. I didn't realize this before, and I'm having a lot of fun discovering all the different pathways around the level. I've cranked up the difficulty though on it, and it is it's not very forgiving, Killzone Mercenary. Like, you know, when you're trying to be stealthy and there's a group of enemies, like if one of them spots you, like normally you get about 5-6 seconds to kill them before the other people in the group are, know that you're there as well. But with Killzone Mercenary, if one of the guards or one of the what are they called in Killzone? What are the enemies called? Helghast. If one of the Helghast see you, then instantly everyone on the map knows you're there and they all come charging towards you, which is very annoying. But it's also very rewarding when you manage to stealthily kill everyone. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and I'm getting back into that.
My Killzone Mercenary experience, I finished the campaign on normal, and then I was like, yeah, well, I'm going to try this on hard. And I did that one of the first levels, and I just got gunned down, and I was like, nope, not for me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And I went back to playing Xenoblade or whatever I was playing. I've been playing quite a lot. You know, the game that I've been playing the most over Christmas?
What is that?
Over the Christmas period, anyway, is the it's the Star Wars Battlefront companion app for Android.
What?
There literally hasn't been an hour when I had time off that I wasn't playing this game. It's so addictive. So
it's not a companion app then, it's just a game.
Well, it's both, Colin, because it's a companion app, so you can check your stats and see friends are online and, all that shit. But also there's like a mini game that comes with it that lets you get currency for the actual game, which is quite dangerous because you can sort of, you sit there and you're like, oh, just one more go. And then you can, just because you think you're racking up in-game currency to buy like a, blaster or whatever.
A pod racer.
It's so good though. Like, it's really addictive. Like, I'm actually thinking of just dipping my toe in now whilst you're doing a boring news story, just so I can get.
No, we need to tackle this, our next gen consoles, because we all know you got a PS4 and I got an Xbox One.
Yeah,
I've seen your many pictures, and I saw your Snapchat the other night about Batman Arkham Knight. Made me in my man parts. The Battlefront, that's a game I was never particularly bothered about. I've never really played the other ones. But over the past few weeks, my interest is starting to get piqued a little bit because I keep seeing these amazing battles online, like all these like troops tackling. I don't know what they're called. Those big walker things in Star Wars, like the Sith, the evil people have them. They walk along the snow planet like big horses.
AT-ATs,
whatever they're called. Yeah, I saw like a battle between one of those and like 20 like these all players from around the world just trying to take it down. Like there was planes going everywhere. There was X-wings. I was like, "What the fuck is this? I need to get."
I was given it as a Christmas present, and I've played it so much. But I think like you should get it when it's like cheap or half price or something, because it's not actually that much to the game. And I think if you paid like full price for it, I think you'd be a bit let down.
Isn't it just a case of like you get the game and then you're put straight into the middle of like a massive battle of like 40 different players and you die instantly? Is that pretty much
there is like, they encourage you to do like a tutorial first, and there's loads of different game modes and stuff, but it's just very the whole game is like online focus, which means that there's like, I enjoy it a lot, but I think it's like sometimes it feels like it's half a game and they've kind of put less in so that when the season pass comes out you're more encouraged to buy it.
What would be in the season pass though?
Well, they've said there's going to be like more heroes, more levels, that kind of stuff.
Oh, but so, I just like
it though.
In my mind, like you're entering. That's the impression I get at Battlefront. You enter this massive war that's going on, and I like the idea that even when you come out of the battle, in your mind that the battle is continuing without you, and then you just come back and rejoin. I like the idea that there's a constant battle going on Battlefront, and then you can come in and come out when you like. I just like that idea.
I mean, that's not quite how it pans out because it is round based, but it's like I think you'd get very into it. I think this would be up your street.
It's a shame that me and you can't play it together, just because
I know.
you have a stupid console.
Yeah, because you made a poor decision.
So yeah, I may dabble and get that at some point. But let's quickly talk about my Xbox One. So we already know you're enjoying your PS4.
Yeah,
I finally
quite a lot.
So you like it quite a lot. That's good. That's good. I've rigged up my connected my Xbox One to my telly. I've been playing it since Boxing Day. When I first opened it up, it took a little bit of time to get used to because, well, as soon as you turn on the Xbox, you have to do a massive update anyway. Obviously, it's all down to when Xbox and Microsoft originally were going to do that thing where you could only play the game on your console and you couldn't share it or trade it in, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And now, because they backtracked on all of that, as soon as you get the Xbox now, there's a massive update, which happened when I turned mine on, so it reverses all of that. But once I got past that, I found I still find the I don't know what it's called. I think it's the home screen, whatever they call it on Xbox, a bit confusing. It's not very clear where everything is. It took me quite a while to discover where to enter a code. So, when you get a code to enter to get your game or whatever. It took me a while to figure out where that is.
Or whatnot.
It's really well hidden on the store, which is a bit annoying. I had to look on loads of YouTube videos to find out where to enter it. That's how hidden it was. It's crazy. Then I finally I don't know if it's the same for PS4. Do you have to install games before you can play them?
Yeah, but you did that on PS3 as well. It kind of installs extra data so that it'll run smoother.
Yeah, I've never experienced that before. So when I downloaded, obviously I had to download FIFA 16, but I had the game I've been looking forward to, Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I got that for Christmas. I put that in my Xbox yesterday to finally play it for the first time, and it took about an hour and a half to download it all.
Wow.
But what it does, I don't know, it probably does this on PS4 as well, I don't know. But once 10% of the game has been downloaded, you can play a portion of it. So that's what happened with FIFA 16. When that was downloading, once it got to 10%, I could play a friendly match between Real Madrid and Barcelona. I couldn't do anything
panic
else.
over.
I know it wasn't amazing, but it's still cool that you can still play a bit of it whilst the rest of it's downloading. But I've really been liking FIFA 16, but I'm sure no one really cares about that. But it's really good. But I played Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Literally before we came on air for the first time, oh my god, got me right. I got goosebumps because it was my teenage years, Chris. Gaming. They've not only brought back all the bits that everyone loved about Gears of War 1, they made it look so good. It looks absolutely gorgeous. There's loads of people playing it at the moment. The games run really smoothly. It's quite from what I've seen, like everyone's at about the same level, that you're not really overpowered at all.
Okay.
Good, which was a problem with Gears of War 1, where you'd be put up against someone who was amazing and you were like just starting out. But really am loving it. It looks amazing. If you're a big fan of Gears of War, if you played any of them, you'll love Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I'll have to tackle the campaign at some point. But I'm enjoying my Xbox at the moment. But what I really love about my Xbox is how you can go between apps so seamlessly. I don't know whether does PS4 do that as well? Must do.
Because I think me and you played our PS3 and our 360 respectively so much. Now you're on something which just feels like so much less clunky, and it's just so smooth, isn't it, to kind of go between things. Now I'm enjoying it.
Well, I've never had that before. Like if I wanted to go between my Xbox a game and watch Netflix, I'd have to come off the game. But now I can like push the home button, the Xbox Guide button. It comes off the app. The game. It stays there in a little box. Then you can go to something else. I can go on Netflix and start watching a film. And I can stop that and go straight back to the game as well. Absolutely.
And what's crazy for me about the PS4 is that I can play like, I don't know, be in the middle of Batman, turn off, go to bed, put it in like low power mode, turn on the next day, and it will just like restart from exactly where I was, which is amazing. Like that's so cool.
It's a bit like the Vita, isn't it? When you put it on standby mode when you're playing a game, and then you can just like unlock it and go straight back in where you left off.
Colin, it's a bit like the Vita, except there's games for it. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Have you actually done remote play yet with your Vita and your PS4? Come on.
Yeah, I've messed about with it. But my internet isn't great, so it's really good if I'm in the same room as everything. But as soon as I move to like my bedroom, it just kind of clunks out, which is a pity. But now,
great.
It's because every PS4 is a Vita game, right?
Hey. Actually, talking about companion apps, I've downloaded the Xbox. I think it's called the Xbox Glass app, which is the companion to the Xbox One. It's literally you open up the app and you've got your dashboard and the home of your Xbox One, and you can like I don't really know what you can do apart from look at your. I'm sure you can download games and stuff, but I've not actually explored it that thoroughly. But it looks very nice, so that's a nice
Good.
companion app. Right, so Xbox One is good, and your PS4 is good as well. One day
Better,
you'll.
some would say.
Sorry.
You were so close to getting a PS4. That's what upsets me. You were so close, and then you chickened out.
Well, here's the thing: if Gears of War was on PS4, I would have got a PS4. That's pretty much it. But because of just how amazing, from what I've played so far, Ultimate Edition of Gears of War is. I don't regret my decision. And one day, you never know if I win the lottery to make it.
Isn't it games?
Sorry,
isn't Gears Ultimate Edition just all the old games?
No, it's just the first one remastered.
So it's literally one game. Your console for one.
Yeah. Duh.
Okay.
And how else will I get the Legends edition of FIFA 16, man? Come on. Anyway, right. So let's move on and actually start talking about some news. The first thing I want to say, I've just looked at the Google Hangouts and what you put in capital letters at the top. Right. So a couple of things I just want to mention before we get on to some news. Firstly, finally, Mike Bithell's Volume is out today on PlayStation Vita. That's in North America and in Europe. So this is the guy who did, I hope I'm not getting this wrong. Is it Thomas Was Alone? Is that the one he did? Please help me out, Chris. My mind has gone really blank.
He did the one that was called
Thomas Was Alone?
Yes. The Danny Wallace one, yeah.
Thomas Was Alone. Yeah, okay, and everyone was very excited for Volume, his next game. It was coming to Vita. It's been pushed back so many times. Been waiting for it for a while on the Vita, but it's finally come out now. Only about 4 or 5 months after everywhere else has got it. But from what I'm hearing so far, it's playing really well on Vita. Apparently, it's a very good port. For those of you who don't know, it's a stealth-based video game, and you're in like a futuristic world where you're this. I guess you're a human. You're not like a robot, but you've got to try and evade guards by navigating through a map, and you have to destroy them, and it looks really cool. The art style for it is really quite funky. There's another game, this reminds me of Futuridium XP Deluxe, which was a game I played on Vita about a year ago, which was a racing sort of racing game. That's sort of what was that game, Chris, from I guess it's from the 80s, where like you're on a little motorbike and you're going around collecting little balls.
Excite Bike?
I don't know. Are you?
I don't know what game you mean.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try and find 80s. There was like you're on a little motorbike. There's like these balls you have to collect, and there's like a big boss you had to kill as well. That pretty much sounds like every 80s game. I need to find it. Motorbike game. 80s motorbike game. Okay, that's not it. No, I can't find it. Anyway, it looks very cool. Basically, if you like colourful, futuristic-looking worlds, then you're going to like Volume. It's finally out on Vita. Little bit pricey, in my opinion. It's priced at £14.99 on the PlayStation Vita store in the UK, which
that's a bit much.
Little bit steep, in my opinion. Hopefully, it'll get reduced in sales in future. But I don't know if there's a trial. Let me just load up the store on my little Vita, conveniently placed in front of me. So let's have a look. There is no trial. It's £14.99. So yeah, and it's already got it's got 7 ratings so far, and it's got 4.5 out of 5, which is very good. So look out for that. And also a question for you, Chris: should I buy FIFA Football on my PlayStation Vita? Now, keep in mind, FIFA Football was the game that launched with the PlayStation Vita, the first ever FIFA game on the Vita. Should I buy it?
No, because you got FIFA on your Xbox.
But it's only in my local CEX. It's £2.50. £2.50.
But you're doing you won't play it, and then you'll be like, oh, it's rubbish. You'll play it once, then you'll be like, oh, and it's got nothing on the Xbox One because the Xbox One's got Lionel Messi in. Lionel. And you'll be annoyed that in the one in Kex, Bournemouth aren't in the Championship or wherever they are now.
Hey, I tell you, my team Bournemouth, because we're in the Premiership now, all the players have had their photos taken, so it's all photorealistic.
Sick.
And Bournemouth's ground are in it as well. It's literally amazing. It's making me jump everywhere.
Did you see? This is a tangent. My boys Southampton beat Arsenal 4-0 on Boxing Day. That was amazing.
Who's that?
My boys Southampton, they beat Arsenal 4-0.
Come again? Who's
The
that?
boys.
Your boys.
Southampton,
Who's that?
they're the ones that are better than Bournemouth. And they beat Arsenal 4-0 on Boxing Day.
Scores. Yeah, that was a pretty good result. We lost 2-0 to Arsenal. Anyway, let's move on. So, should I buy it? Chris is saying no. It's £2.50. That's a bargain. But here's the thing. I actually put, if you can, I mean, hold on. Don't fall off your chair. This is going to shock you, Chris. But I actually put £5 into my wallet on the PS Store.
Whoa!
And I used it to buy Everybody's Golf for like £2 something because I had it on PlayStation Plus when I had PlayStation Plus for those brief months.
Yeah.
And because my PS Plus ran out, I no longer had it. So I bought it, and then I couldn't download it because I didn't have enough memory on my memory card. So there's a fun fact for you, Chris.
Aye.
I need to buy a new memory card at some point.
You do. Shall we? Let's do our free game recommendation.
Yes.
I recommend a game. I've not played it a great deal, but I want other people to play it with so that we can play somehow together that we'll add that in. Okay. So let me pitch you this, Colin.
Okay.
Imagine a 10-player multiplayer game, right? A shooter, except it's on your phone and you're not some sort of a space marine in the 15,000s. You are a pirate ship sailing on the ocean on your phone.
Yaha,
it's sick, right?
diddly dee.
I'm gonna
Being a pirate is all right.
It's life for me. It's called World of Pirate Ships. It came out today on Android, so I'm gonna link it. It's made by Chunky Monkey Create action game. Yeah, I've not played it a great deal, so like it might get really shit. But what I've played is really good so far, and I want to link this because I want other people to enjoy it. So that is my free recommendation of the week. Good play, Colin. Play on your Android device, and we'll talk next week.
What's it called? The World of Magic Pirate Ship?
It's called World of Pirate Ships.
World of Pirate Ships.
I don't know if it's going to be out for iOS because it only came out on Android today.
World of Pirate Ships. I can't even find it when I search on Google. That's how new it is. Let me get my phone.
Yeah, well, only, this is breaking content. So yeah, definitely, if you're at home, definitely check it out on your Android device. We'll put a link on here. It's handheld.com.
Whilst you're saying your first news story, I will see if it's on the store on iOS.
So our first news story for the 3DS is a little bit stats based because, Colin, in Japan in Christmas week, you will be pleased to hear that this is coming from Famitsu via Jupiter's. They've taken of the best-selling consoles in Japan for the Christmas week. So obviously these are things that were being snapped up as last-minute prints, but also just things that people wanted to play. This is the hardware chart, then, and you will be pleased to hear, Colin.
Yes.
Drum rolls, please. That both the Wii U and the new 3DS were in top 2 selling consoles / hardware in Japan for Christmas week, which is sick. PS Vita came third, and then the PS4, and then the 3DS, and the Xbox One. Nintendo completely boshed Christmas week, which was really it's just really good, isn't it? It's good to see that the Wii so well. There's obviously it's very popular, and I was amazed it was specifically the new 3DS as well that sold 150,000 units in Christmas compared to the normal 3DS just selling 5,000. PS Vita outsold the PS4 by 6,000 units, which is quite good for everyone who's a Vita player, PS4 players, and only 479 Xbox Ones were sold in Japan.
That is so bad. Like, I don't know, the Japanese just really hate Microsoft, don't they? And the Xbox One, they're just not going to take to it. Unbelievable. 400 and did you say 490?
In Japan, it was 479 units sold. It's amazing, it's great. I think as well, it's worth highlighting that news came out a couple of days ago that the Nintendo 3DS has sold over 20 million units since launching back in February 2011. The most popular one is it's not quite as popular, add-on Nintendo DS, which sold 32 million units. But this is still really good. Like for a console that a lot of people have kind of not wiped. People are dying or is out of the woods. 20 million units, and that's capped like PS2 with 21.8 million units. So yeah, this is very strong news in P and all that stuff.
I'm looking at the sales
Excuse me,
figures.
by the way, I got really wrong. I'm sorry to keep sniffing on mic. That's gross.
That's okay. Actually links onto my first news story. I've got the Japanese sales charts for the week just gone, so the week after Christmas.
Oh, okay.
This came out a few hours ago, actually, thanks to our friends at PlayStationLifestyle.net. I won't go into too much detail. I'll just pick out the PlayStation Vita games in here. It won't take very long because there's only one PlayStation Vita game in the top 20 selling games from the week after Christmas. And can you guess what game that was, Chris?
PlayStation Vita. Minecraft.
Yes, you got it.
Yes.
Minecraft. Minecraft is just an absolute phenomenon. I know we knew this anyway, but all around the world, everyone loves Minecraft. It's amazing. Incredible.
I know, it's so popular, isn't it?
It sold, well, in its lifetime, it sold 584,000 units, and it sold 48,000 last week. Number one is Monster Hunter X, which is a 3DS game, obviously. It's nice to see Splatoon's at number 3 as well on the Wii U. If I ever get a Wii U, that's a game I really like to play. It looks so cute.
In Japan, it got announced this week that they're making Splatoon watches. They're really cool looking. I'll put a picture on the article. They do look really cool.
Are they in the shape of a paint splatter?
They're normal watches, Colin. They've just got like interesting designs.
What's happening with your mic? Why are you dropping the mic? Are
Oh,
you preparing for the big finish
yeah,
when you drop the
well,
mic and walk out?
they're quite sick actually because they're like a normal watch, and then a plastic cover with the ink squid on, and then you pop it up and you can see the time. I'll post this on the other so you can have a look.
Here's a fun fact for you. Last week, you probably had these figures here. This article was a bit incorrect if yours is anything to go by. But in the consoles that were sold, the Xbox One sold 490, according to this article here. And the PlayStation TV sold 1,167. So the PlayStation Vita TV sold over double what the Xbox One did last week. It's just insane. I don't know why. Do you think... I think maybe it's because Sony and Nintendo are both Japanese companies that they don't like Microsoft because it's an outsider sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be that. It's got to be that. Like, you know, they're just so Microsoft just aren't really loved in Japan at all, are they?
The problem is I don't think Microsoft even bother to market the Xbox One over there because they know no one's going to buy it. It's odd. It must be very lonely if you're an Xbox One owner in Japan. Right, so I'm going to go straight on to another news story, but let's see what I will be pulling from my hat of fun. Right, so this is a story that you'll probably know about with your PS4. Did you experience some PlayStation online outages?
Oh, it was the worst, Colin. It was the worst. Let me tell you what happened, Colin, because it was the worst.
Tell me a story.
I came home from my first day back at work, and I was like, "Oh, this has been draining. I'm ready to go to Hoth. I've got my blaster in my hand. I'm ready to gun down some stormtroopers in the name of the Rebel Alliance." And I just got repeatedly chucked out of PSN. I was told, "Nope, you can't sign in. Can't sign in. Nope, can't sign in. Can't sign in. Nope.
Wow.
Can't sign in."
What is it with Sony and PlayStation and PSN dropping out over the Christmas? I know it's not technically the Christmas period, but over this winter period near Christmas. I swear this happened last year as well, didn't it?
Well, last year they were hacked on Christmas Day, weren't they? Or there was a DDoS. Whereas I don't know what happened.
Well, there's rumors that they were hacked again yesterday. Well, it wasn't yesterday; it was the day before.
Yeah.
There's a hacker group known as Phantom Squad. Seriously, Phantom Squad, and they're taking responsibility.
Isn't that a game on PS Vita?
Probably, but it's also the name of a hacker group, so there you go. But Sony have acknowledged that this was very annoying for people who wanted to get into their X-Wings and kill Jedis and things like that. So they've said that they're going to be extending people's PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now, and video rental subscriptions, which is nice of them. And it's the least they could do, really, because people have paid for these services, and if they can't get access to it, they should, make it so you get your money's worth,
Yeah,
But,
it's that thing where you pay like 40 quid for a year's worth of PSN, right?
Yeah.
And you get so that costs you about 11p a day. So it's not a cost thing. People don't want to, people aren't annoyed at wanting their money back or anything. It's just like, 10p is not much, but it's really frustrating when you want to play, isn't it? So it's like, it's for them to do that is fair enough.
Especially with a game like Battlefront, where it's such an epic game, which really sucks you in. Like, you're psyching yourself up. You're coming back from work thinking, I can't wait to get home. I'm going to become Darth Vader. I'm going to death choke some people. It's going to be amazing. And then you get a thing that keeps kicking you out. That must be very frustrating. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to play a single player game like a chump? Well, then get it.
Like a bozo. Well, you say that, but that's what made me stop playing Batman, and here we are. I'm super keen.
Is Batman any good?
Batman is very good.
It's just very good.
Parts better than other parts. Well, obviously I love the Batman games.
Yeah.
But I don't really like the car stuff. I find quite frustrating.
Oh, for God's sake! You're not one of the car haters, are you? Like, everyone was like, "Oh my God, you get to drive the Batmobile," and now as soon as it gets put in the game, people are moaning about it. What is wrong with the Batmobile, Chris?
Maybe you should play the game, Colin. It's just.
Is there one bit where you jump out and you go, "I'm not wearing hockey pants"? Is that not the best bit?
It's really fun. It's just very frustrating because the Bat stuff is really boring when you're with the Batmobile.
That's a shame.
And it's just like, it's a bit of a pity because I was really looking forward to it. But no, I'm enjoying it. Like, it's fun. And it's got different villains than last time. And weirdly as well, one thing I didn't expect, make reference to stuff that happened in Arkham Origins. Which we both liked but didn't like a lot. But I was surprised that they make you meet certain enemies that you haven't seen since then, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I haven't seen you since you did this to me," and you're like, "Oh yeah, I remember doing that." So it's quite nice, really.
Yeah, and then as you drive around or walk around the map, people go, "It's the freaking Bat." Constantly.
It's a lot harder now. Like the Predator stuff before, you just go on a grapple onto a gargoyle, then you can just spam the same move. It's really hard now. Like, it really makes you think a lot.
That's good. I know in Arkham Origins they had loads of different enemy types to make it more difficult. Like, you couldn't just stay on the gargoyle because there'd be enemies that were staring at them and were had those glasses that could see, and they were blowing up the gargoyles as well. So that's cool. I will play it at some point. It's on my to buy list. It's still about 40 quid, I think, on Xbox One. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Anyway, should we do another news item?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Chris, please.
I've got a couple of bits I'm going to squish together in vile pot. There's now an official website for the Fire Emblem games, which are coming out in America in February, in springtime. We've got set release date. One of the interesting things, though, is that they're saying it's website, saying it's got players 1 to 2. To be some sort of against each other multiplayer, but I haven't really seen them confirm that before. So I don't know or what, but anyway. So this is a really nice, flashy website. It tells you a lot about the game. It tells you a lot about how it's going to work in terms of DLC and the separate games that are coming out, and some really nice pictures as well. And it's not even the full website, so check out this website. But kind of similarly to that is if you're in Europe, you can now register Bravely Second and Layer. Register interest is this weird thing that Nintendo UK are doing. You this game looks quite fun, and I would yeah, it does. Sign up to our newsletter, and they'll kind of tell you when you can order it and what's to come and stuff. So you can now register your interest in Bravely Second and Layer. I'm going to put a link in our in the article at heroesofhandheld.com so that you can have a read there if you're keen. And the last sort of Nintendo corporate news I'm going to feel off to you, then I've got one more thing after this, is that there's going to be maintenance on January the 11th. So that is this next coming Monday. Yeah, next Monday. If you're in North America, it's from Monday till Tuesday. It starts at 5 p.m. Monday night, and it starts 3 a.m. Tuesday morning. If you're in Europe, it starts 1 a.m. Tuesday morning and ends at 11 a.m. Tuesday morning. So definitely, keep your eyes peeled. You won't be able to kind of go on certain things, as you know, but yeah, we'll put a link up as well if you need more info. Colin, back to you, my friend.
Back to me. Right, so what am I going to tackle now? That is the question that everyone is wondering, and I'm about to tell you, Chris. I am really about to tell you.
I'm really excited to know what you're about to tell me,
Sort
Colin.
of threw me, like you sort of caught me with my pants down, as it were. Let's tackle this one. So PlayStation Now is a service you can get on your Vita. You can play PS3 games if you've got a good enough internet connection. And over the past, it was actually yesterday, Sony have announced that 40 plus more PS3 games are coming to PlayStation Now. This happened yesterday. So if you are a subscriber to PS Now, you can now play Anarchy, Rush Hour, Armageddon Riders, Bentley's Hack Pack, Big Sky Infinity, all the big name games, Chris. Let's just be clear. Class of Heroes 2G, Crash Commando, Detuned, Doki Doki Universe. That's actually a really good game, that. Dynasty Warriors 7 Empires, Eat Them, Elefunk, Flow, Everyday Shooter, Flower, Flow, Go Puzzle, God of War. There's 2 more God of War games. Hot Shots golf game, Killzone 2, Journey, Invisibles, and loads of other games as well. So there's a huge list here of games that you can now play on your PlayStation Vita if you have PlayStation Now. So there's now over 300 games available for you to play. I mean, I'd say the list isn't amazing yet, but they're getting there. There's some good games on there now. Obviously, The Last of Us is probably the biggest one that strikes that I see straight away, that jumps out at me. But also Uncharted 3 is now available to play. Game of the Year edition as well. When Vikings Attack, X-Blade, Toy Home, Trash Panic. So there's a good mix of indie and really big titles there on PlayStation Now. So perhaps there's now never been a better time to get the free subscription. I think there's a free trial for about 2 weeks of PlayStation Now. I assume it's the same as Netflix when you have to give all your card details and you have to tick a really small box at the bottom, which is well hidden if you don't want it to automatically. Yeah, exactly. But so that's cool. So I'm interested in trying this out. So I might get the free trial in the next few days and just see how it is. What else shall we talk about? So that was one. I've spoken about the Japanese sales figures. I think you spoke about Wii U and PlayStation Vita selling very well in Japan over the Christmas.
Yes, they did.
Yes, so that's already done. I've said about Sony extending PlayStation Plus. So I'm just going to talk about this last article here. It's from a developer called... not a developer, sorry, a studio called Blitzworks. That's their name. Their name is Blitzworks. They are responsible for the ports of Spelunky, Fez, Bastion, and Super Meat Boy to PlayStation Vita. There was an interview with them that surfaced a few days ago, and they've been talking about how... they've been talking about the difficulties of developing games for PlayStation Vita and how, in some ways, it's actually easier. The tools for creating games for PlayStation Vita is better than that of PS4. But they also said about some of the drawbacks from developing for PlayStation Vita. They said the number one difficulty is having to deal with the performance of a mobile platform. All the titles we've worked with were developed for much more powerful platforms. When you see the Vita performing like a PS3 or an Xbox 360, it is because there's been a good deal of work optimizing the performance for the particulars of the Vita. It's not so powerful unless the code is carefully adapted. So basically it's saying that, people keep claiming how the Vita is a really powerful device. It's been about 5 years since the Vita was first developed and created. So they're saying that it's not as powerful as it was 5 years ago because obviously technology has progressed a lot since then. It's saying for a game to work really well on Vita, it has to be coded perfect. The coding has to be absolutely perfect and really carefully analyzed and done to perfection. So I thought this is very interesting, really. Like you think that... and the Vita is a powerful device for bringing, especially games like Fez and Bastion, Super Meat Boy, and all these indie games. You think it'd be easy to do, but apparently it's not very easy. You need some talented coders to be able to do it. So I thought that was very interesting. But the best part about this article is that Blitzworks have said that they are currently working on bringing some more games to PlayStation Vita. They haven't said which ones they're going to be, but they will reveal what they are in, soon. So it's very good to see that they're still bringing games to Vita, and they're still supporting it, which is nice. So hopefully we'll get some amazing indie games on our Vita, because we haven't got enough of those, have we, Chris?
I just wish there was more.
I'm being silly. It's always good to know that there are companies and publishers and developers supporting the Vita. It's weird, like every developer, most indie developers seem to love the PlayStation Vita. No one has ever said, "Oh, I hate the Vita, I'm never going to develop for it." Like, it's just really nice to see how it's such a well-loved device, especially among indie developers. It's just a shame that it seems that it's quite difficult to bring games to the Vita. I mean, in previous weeks, I've spoken about how I can't remember what the game was now. Oh, the Banner Saga, that was it. The developers said they weren't bringing that to Vita now because of how difficult it'd been to get the game released on other platforms. But I think I saw somewhere that now they've managed to get some funding to bring the Banner Saga to the Vita from a outside, what's it called when someone gives someone money?
Publish.
Maybe a publisher, I don't know, but that's coming to
Sponsor?
Vita. Maybe something like that, but that's good to know the Banner Saga is coming to Vita. But it's very interesting to hear when you hear all these stories about how it's not that easy to develop for the PlayStation Vita. But also very interesting for them to say that the PlayStation Vita development tools are much more developed than the PlayStation 4 ones. So the tools there's so many more tools for developing games for Vita than PS4. Yeah, so that's good. That's all good news. That's all good. It's all good.
Good work.
I'm sinking into my chair because it's that good.
Okay, I'm going to give you my last bit of news, and then we're done. I think probably. So this is genuinely amazing, and it's a testament not just to the player but to game design as well. So this story went kind of viral this week. It was all over the internet, and you might have seen it, Colin. I assume you did. This is a story of a guy called Terry Garrett. Right, Terry lost his sight when he was 10 years old. But obviously when you're 10, like you like gaming and you like playing games. So this guy learned to game sort of differently, so obviously he can't see, he's blind. So he had to just use the sound to get through a game and work out where he was, where he was dying, and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, this bloke, right? He started in 2011, and he's been trying to beat Ocarina of Time for 5 years, right? 5 years. And now this blind gamer who can't see a thing that's happening on the screen has just finished his first ever play Ocarina of Time on January 2nd. It's amazing. Like, finished the whole game, Colin, and he can't see anything. I knew how to do it because of the sound that the game was making.
That's amazing. That is.
It's beautiful.
I didn't get it. Like, God, that must take so long. Like, well, I guess you just listen out for like the sound of water running and like the sound of like, I don't know. How would you know if there's like a wall in front of you?
I know it's crazy, isn't it?
Interesting. Yeah.
He must have had a lot of commitment. There's a playthrough that you can watch on YouTube. I was watching it earlier. It's staggering. It's so good. And like the bits that are difficult are when the game isn't letting you know what's going on with the sound, which makes sense. But like watching him play is it's amazing. Because you think a video game is one of the most like visual mediums there is.
Yeah.
And how much you must rely on your eye. Like even just I mean, it's not the same. But, Colin, when you're trying to play a game and your other half walks in front of the TV.
Yes.
We all know the feeling.
Yes.
And you're like, just for a split second, and it's not the same at all, but it's like, it just shows you how important kind of visuals are in a game. So yeah, this is an amazing story. Definitely check out his videos, which we'll put on the Heroes of Handheld article on heroesofhandheld.com.
It just as you just said, it highlights when there's the BAFTA Game Awards and like there's awards for sound and sound engineering, like how important that is really.
Because I mean, there's a bit in Ocarina of Time, right, where Ganon runs out of the castle with the princess, and she throws an ocarina into the moat, right? And he must have heard that sound of it splashing in the water, and tried to work. Oh, it boggles the mind. It's brilliant.
That is
Really
awesome.
good.
That's
So
really cool.
definitely,
So yeah, we'll embed that video. I'm sure Chris will get on that.
yes, I will. I think that's probably everything we've got time for this week, Colin. Bro.
That is, I'm out here. I'm going to go play some more Killzone and get frustrated when I can't get past the guard without them seeing me, even though I didn't make any noise. Talking of sound in video games, the sound in Killzone Mercenary is fantastic. Like, I mean, these big old warehouses, these big ships, and the sound is just incredible. Like, you hear like electrical sparks, like dripping pipes. Like, it's very eerie. I love it. Love it. Anyway, so thank you for listening, everybody. It's been episode 121 of Heroes of Handheld. Me and Chris are going to go play our respective next-gen consoles, well, actually current-gen consoles, and I'm going to cry at how good Gears of War is. So there you go. What are you going to do, Chris?
I'm gonna have some dinner. I'm gonna watch some Netflix and chill, and then I'm probably going to play a little bit of Star Wars, I think.
Have you been Darth Vader yet?
Yes. Oh, it's so sick. The best person is when you play as Han Solo. That's amazing. It's so cool.
Why is it so good? Does he just like kill people by using his funny quips?
He runs around and he does quips and he like fast fires from his gun. He's like, chop, chop. Oh, it's just amazing. It's really good.
Hand shot first. Anyway, that's awesome. Cool. So I look forward to hearing your stories of that next week. Thank you for listening, everybody. How can people get in contact with us, Chris? Tell the people how they can talk to us if they would like to.
I've got a new way of doing this, right?
Okay.
We're going to take it in turns to plug a thing. So the email, the Twitter, the Facebook, the website. But you've got to do it, right? You've got to rhyme with what the last person said. Okay, so I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Heroesofhandheld.com is a website you can visit.
It's the best website, isn't it?
Okay, now you'll go. Now you'll go.
You can also follow us on Twitter because we like to tweet. I'm waiting.
At Handheld Podcast will update you throughout the week.
That's a good one.
Thanks,
I will give you that. Right, you'll go.
Search Heroes of Handheld on the Facebook website.
Because when you do, it'll be such a delight.
I need to finish. The email.
And don't forget, if you want to argue or disagree with anything we've said on the show,
heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. So now you know.
Drop the mic. We're out of here. We're done.
We're done.
That's brilliant. Thank you for listening, everybody. Back next week. Bye.
Bye.